You guys ever feel like it doesn't matter how much you think you know about something, you feel like you're always missing some piece of information? I'm sure a lot of you guys that are watching this video are starting to feel like that. Like you're ready to pull the trigger, you're ready to make the move, but you're just missing that one piece of information about making the move down to Albuquerque. Well, lucky enough for you guys, I got the data, I made the list, and I'm pretty sure that you guys are going to want to stick around because there's a very important middle point here within the video that I want to touch base on that is going to pertain to that move. So stick around. Let's get right into the video, guys. All right, guys. Now, I don't know how much research you guys have been doing about Albuquerque or that whole move down to the southwest, but a couple of key things that I keep getting brought up as I have these conversations with people that are moving down here, and they really want to know a few things, right? It's going to be our culture, what it's like, best places to live for families and young professionals, the food, and the weather, especially going into these colder months, right? We're in October, we're in the last week, it's starting to get a little bit chillier, and people are wondering, what is November like, what is December like, and then when it really gets cold, what should we be preparing for? And in this video, guys, I'm going to go over that in great detail for you guys. That way you guys know exactly how you should be dressing, right? Just be wary that the style down here, especially when it starts to get cold, you're going to see a lot of sweaters, right? Hoodies and pullovers and shorts, right? Because during the day, it is going to get warm. But before we get into that, guys, I really want to touch base on a few other things. And I really got to say, thank you so much for stopping by this video. This is your first time tuning into the Living in Albuquerque channel. Just do yourself a huge favor and hit that subscribe and notification bell down at the bottom. My name is Eli, and aside from doing all these great videos, guys, I am also a licensed broker here in the state of New Mexico, and I love to help you out with your real estate needs. So if you are thinking about moving down here within the next 30, 60, or 90 days, I'd love to hop on a quick Zoom call with you guys. That way we can really talk about what the move looks like, pull up the map and look at all the different areas, and make a plan to get you down here a lot smoother and a lot faster. So again, that number popping up on the screen is my direct line. Feel free to shoot me a call, shoot me a text, do what you got to do. Take a screenshot and write it down. That way we can hop on that video call as soon as possible. All right, guys, really getting into the first topic of discussion, and it's one of the bigger ones. Every time I get on a call, they're always asking me about our culture here. What is it like? Is it still old school? Is it still kind of like that farm ranchy vibe or whatever? And some of that is true. But to be honest with you guys, we have such a big melting pot of culture here because there's been so much people just coming in from the outside states, moving here because of how affordable it is, that we are just creating our own culture, and it's the beauty of it, right? Very slowed down, very chillax, and very welcoming culture. For the most part, that's what I experience in the areas that I hang out at, right? Whenever you go into a brewery, for the most part, you're going to see this culture of people that are always happy. I don't know if the brewery part has anything to do with it, but really they're going to be happy, welcoming people. Even if you went by yourself, sat at the bar, more than likely somebody's going to start a conversation up with you, tell you, hey, what's going on? Or maybe you find somebody that's in the same position as you. They're brand new to the city and they are just trying to make friends or trying to meet new people. And really a bunch of those crowds there are just going to induct you into whatever they're doing. And by the time the night is over, you're going to have a whole new set of friends that really feel like family. And really that family dynamic is super huge here. We really make sure that we put family first. Now, aside from the type of culture that you can experience outside, for the majority, anywhere you go, people are pretty friendly, and they just are humble because the majority of the people here, I keep saying majority, but it's the truth, right? The big working middle class kind of group, it's really prominent here. A lot of the people that are working, living, and playing in the communities are working class, right? And I'm going to get into why, just because of the growth of Albuquerque and what we've seen over the past few years. It's brought a certain type of crowd in. So let's get into that and talk about it. Alrighty, guys. So the growth in Albuquerque, next topic of discussion. It's really slowed down since '07, right? When we went through that whole economic crisis, recession, and all that stuff. It did a multitude of things. It stopped a lot of things that were going on. And it also forced a lot of people in other states to pick up and move here. So that's, where the whole influence in cultures comes and all that stuff. We really have become a big melting pot and a big area for working class people because New Mexico as a whole has always been a state that is known for farming and mining, right? Who would have ever thought? What is there to do out there in the desert? You're probably asking. Well, farming and mining. So if you want to go work in the mines, you want to work in in big machinery, or you want to go and work the land and be a cowboy for a day, you always are more than welcome to. And I can point you in the right direction if you want to do that. But if that's not something that you want to do, we have other industries that are more prominent here. And of course, even if you are getting in the energy sector, that energy sector has so many different jobs that you don't have to be out there working hard and working on machinery and mining and all that stuff. You can work in an office, right? They always got those options available. But really, the energy sector has always been very prominent, has always helped raise the GDP up here in New Mexico. And more in the recent years, aerospace has gotten a lot bigger here. Obviously, we have the spaceport. Not going to brag or anything, but I don't know how many other states have a spaceport. Not even Denver has a spaceport, and we do. So hate all you want. But much love for my Colorado peeps. I love Colorado, but really down here with the laboratories and how the climate is, it's sunny a majority of the year, and we'll go more into detail in the later part of this video. So stick around to make sure that you guys can know exactly what the weather is like, especially going into these colder months. But really, the aerospace is dominated right now with everything that they're doing with Space Force, Kirkland Air Force Base, the military, and flights with our international airport. And to be mentioned in the conversation is real estate. Now, there's tons of opportunity here because what's happening is that all these older generations are starting to pass away, and the younger generations are inheriting houses. Well, they don't want nothing to do with that house. Very few people do, but many people that live out of state and they inherit like a grandparents' house or parents' house or uncles, cousins, grandmas, whatever. You guys get the picture, right? They are selling. They're selling cheap because they don't want nothing to do with it. So where does that drive opportunity? That drives an opportunity for not only me as a real estate agent, right? And again, guys, that number popping up on the screen, my direct line. If you guys are thinking about moving to anywhere in Albuquerque or in the surrounding areas, feel free to reach out. I'd love to get on that quick call with you guys. But really drives an opportunity for real estate agents and investors, people who are looking for a deal to bring up a house that has probably never had no updates because the people in there are older and they've always just taken good care of the house. So you'll get a house with some good, decent bones. I just recently sold a house in the North Valley that caught on fire, right? And I sold it to a local. A ton of people hit me up from out of state wanting to do this, do that, real estate contracts. And I sold it to a person that lived down the road, and they were wanting to, start putting their money somewhere because their business was doing good. So we sold the house to them for a good deal. The owner, she is like over 80 years old, and her dad built the house. So she's lived in the house forever. So they've lived in the house forever. And selling those types of legacy homes, it's very common here. Not a lot of people are getting to do that, but down here in Albuquerque and down here in New Mexico, that's the opportunity that we're starting to see be more reoccurring. So if you are looking to invest in a property, hit me up. On the topic of real estate, guys, you guys are probably wondering, if you have a family, what is the best place for families to live in Albuquerque? And not biased here at all. These are just something that niche.com keeps bringing up. Niche.com says that the Southwest Heights and the Northwest Heights are going to be some of the better areas for families because, number one, it's more affordable and it's more family orientated. And they got a bunch of family amenities in these areas like urgent cares, grocery shopping, just retail shopping in general, new up and coming areas, newer homes. And, it's really going to cater to that first time home buyer, especially with all these new builders going up there like D.R. Horton building in the Aspire neighborhood and Pulte Homes building in the Inspire neighborhood. Gosh, a lot of spires going on. But anyways, guys, if you are looking to move to a place that's a little bit more family friendly, you want walking trails, the urgency of urgent cares being right down the road, retail shopping, you want to go grocery shopping right down the road. Like I have 2 Walmarts right next to me and a Home Depot, And in the Southwest Heights, they're starting to get a lot more right there, building right there off the corner of Coors and Central and that area. They've always tried to develop it, but I don't know what happened. But now in the more recent years, they put a gym there, a CVS, a gas station, and now they're putting a car wash. And on one of the corners, they used to have a bunch of food trucks there, and now they're building more of like an outdoor retail space alongside the new apartment complex that they just built on Unter. Gosh, did I say Coors and Unter? Gosh, I can't remember. But anyways, both of those areas, ton of stuff always happening, and it's right smack dab in the middle of both the north and the southwest. Okay, so I talked about family neighborhoods, but really, for the people like me, just turned 30, young professionals, right? Young professionals like me, or, you guys have fur babies, and you guys don't have any kids, you're not worried about what school they're going to. You just want to make sure that you get into a good area with a nice house, and you want to make sure that you're centrally located, right? The best areas, according to niche.com, are going to be the Northeast Heights, the North Valley, Nob Hill, kind of like that uptown area right there, because there is a ton to do, right? You're going to have all the finer, fancier restaurants all in those areas, and really you're going to have the mall, all the outdoor shopping centers like Uptown and Windrock, and then you're also going to be centrally located again. So, traveling is going to be an ease for you guys. So if you want accessibility to the freeways, and you just kind of want to have that at your fingertips, this is going to be one of those. All these areas are going to be something that you're going to want to consider. And really, to live in these neighborhoods, it's going to be a little bit more expensive, but nothing more crazier than the Southwest and the Northwest. Really, you're going to be looking at the starting point of 400s to live in these areas. So keep that in mind, that you are going to pay more to live in these centrally located areas, and the homes may be older, but for the most part, people have been doing a good job as far as revitalizing and renovating those houses in those areas. I'm sure you guys know what this is, right? We're looking at heavy weight, right? There's only one good reason why I keep this, and I tell everybody all the time that the reason why I keep this things around is not because I want to look good or be buff or anything like that. It's because I love to eat, and this next topic is that. We're talking about food. Now, the food down here in Albuquerque, I mean, it's going to be very diverse. You are going to have a mixture of spices for the most part, right? Because we are the green chili capital of the world. But really, like anywhere that you go, it's super flavorful spices. You're not going to have this bland food when you go out where you need to pair it with this and that and the third. None of that, right? The food by itself is just good. And I know a lot of the ritzy kind of people are going to hate me for that, but really, I mean, when you've had flavorful food with tons of body, tons of I don't know, you guys have to experience it for yourself. But really, Albuquerque is starting to become a big place for foodies to come down and experience our local coffee shops, that each one is a little bit different, right? Experience our local dining. And to be honest with you guys, the fine dining that we have here is a lot nicer than any big box kind of fine dining that we've had in the area. So you guys want to get a one-of-kind experience, hit up places like Antiquity, the wineries, places like that. Even those poblanos where it's kind of like a farm to table kind of thing, it's still pretty fancy. And you are going to get a little bit of what New Mexico is in that, right? Ranch, kind of old school, kind of dim light, a lot of woods in the area in their decor. So it's really going to feel like homey, slow down, and you're going to be able to enjoy a nice meal in a nice area. Now, don't get me wrong. Like, if that's not something that you want to do, you want to be in the mix, you like music and all that stuff, a bunch of the breweries here are always having concerts. I know Marble, for one, down close to the Sawmill area, even has a stage. So if you are looking for entertainment, good food, and good beer, Marble is going to be a place that you guys want to hit up. So keep in mind that we have a little bit of everything for everyone. And for the majority, these local places are trying to create family-friendly environments to make sure that, hey, we're not just catering to a certain crowd. We want you to be able to come in here, enjoy your food, and bring your family, right? This is a place where you can bring your grandmother too, and she's going to have a great time as well. And bring your 5-year-old, right? Don't recommend it if you're, part hanging out with the buddies or anything like that. But for if you are wanting to enjoy a nice good meal with your family and a nice cool drink, we have places like that for you guys. And hit me up for the local spots that you probably won't get on Google. So let's get you down here. Okay, now I let you guys know that I was going to be talking about the weather. Definitely not the weatherman, but I did meet the newest weatherman for KOB since our old weatherman retired. Pretty cool that he reached out on a listing that I had, and pretty cool to make that connection. So we're hoping that we can help him find a house here pretty soon. And I said, you better be with it because, you know, Albuquerque weather can be strange sometimes. He's coming from Texas, so had to give him a bit of a hard time. But really, guys, getting into this conversation, I'm just going to pull this back a little bit. And as you can see, I got jackets everywhere, right? Right, my son's even got jackets out here, or flannels, right? We're a big flannel family. I've been wearing flannels since I've been in high school, and I love them. But going into these colder months, like right now, there's no need for me to really even have this on. I'm gonna go for a run after I get done filming this video. So, I want to make sure that with the cool, crisp air that's coming through, and yes, I do have shorts on. I want to make sure that that cool, crisp air doesn't bother me while I'm running, especially because I'm going to be working up a sweat. So right now, the weather is nice. It's warm outside. You got the sun and clear skies pretty much all day. We got some clouds starting to roll in. So I can tell that, hey, tomorrow morning, it's going to be cold. And that's what it is. When it gets dark, it gets cold. And in first thing in the morning, you're going to get that cool, crisp, clean air. Something that you guys from those bigger cities don't know anything about. Now, you are going to, you know, experience that. You come outside, going to get this nice, cool, crisp, clean air. It's going to be literally a breath of fresh air. So moving down here, especially in this time, keep in mind that you're going to want to invest in a good coat because getting into December and January, even some of February, it gets really cold down here. We might even experience some snow from time to time, but throughout the day it pretty much dissipates and it goes away because it gets warm again. So really, you're gonna walk out with the coat on. You're gonna start to get hot. You throw it in the back seat for later, and then once the temperatures start to drop again, you're gonna put that coat on. So it's gonna be this fluctuation of weather throughout the day heading into December, but for a majority we're looking at clear skies, warmer weather during the day. So you're going to be able to do all these nice fun activities that we just talked about, like going to eat. Maybe you will invite me. And again, guys, that number popping up on the screen is my direct line. So before you move down here, let's get on a call. Maybe I'll give you some fashion advice, some New Mexican fashion advice, like what shorts go with what hoodie kind of thing. And if you should wear your runners or your Jordans when you move down here. But all jokes aside, guys, really to make sure that you guys are dressing for the time or for the season. Right now, it's just going to be a mixture of, you know, some layers, light layers, shorts or pants, thin pants, not so much jeans just yet. And then you can still even wear flip-flops, these breathable shoes like I got on right now that make you feel like you're floating on thin air, or boots. Right, I wear boots a majority of the time during the week just because going up and down to and from work and all these properties, I get dirty and I just don't want to mess up my shoes. So for the most part, you can get an idea that you're just going to have to be down here and figure it out for yourself and see how comfortable you are in our weather, right? 60s, 70s in the morning, sometimes even 50s, right? You're just going to have to adjust for the time of day. And it's the truth. All right, guys. Now, if you made it this far, I got to say thank you guys so much. And hey, don't forget to hit the subscribe and notification bell down at the bottom, because I am dropping videos every week talking about what Albuquerque and all these other surrounding areas have to offer. Now, again, guys, I am a licensed broker. And if you are thinking about moving down here after hearing this list, after hearing what our culture, our food, the best places to live, and our weather has to offer, again, that number popping up on the screen is my direct line. Feel free to shoot me a text, give me a call, shoot me an email even. I am the one that answers all 3 of those. I'd love to get on a quick video call with you guys to make sure that you're guided in the right direction to buying a house down here. Now, I mainly deal with home purchases, but if you are looking to rent and then buy, I can also guide you in the right direction, and we can also have that conversation at that time. So feel free to stop the video, right? Take a screenshot, write this number down, and hit me up. That way we can get on that call. But other than that, guys, I know it's Halloween. I know you guys are probably gonna go out trick-or-treating. I'm gonna hang out with my buddy here, right? And go for a run. And I hope that you guys have a good week. Stay safe out there. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.
Yeah, oh my Lord, watch me sway. Darkness falls and we all pray.